Thank you, Patrick. Good morning. My name is Felicia Orth, she, her. I am a worship associate for this congregation. Whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever your image of the holy, and wherever you are in your life's journey, you are welcome here. If this is your first time with us, we'd love to get to know you. Please sign our guest book in the foyer. You can also speak with our greeter, Mike McNaughton, Rebecca Howard, the chairperson of our membership committee, there she is, or me for more information about our church. If you're joining us online, hello, please sign our virtual guest book. The link is located in the notes below the video. You can also submit a virtual joy or sorrow to be read next week in our service. To learn more about our spiritual enrichment programs for all ages, please feel free to speak with Elizabeth Porcios. Let's see. She was, there she is, right there. Lifespan Spiritual Enrichment Assistant and Teacher. Tara Louise, our Director of Lifespan Spiritual Enrichment, is out for July and will be back in August. You can also check the table in the foyer for more information about the spiritual enrichment programming. For kids here in our service, we have the activity table up front. We ask that kids use their whisper voices to talk at this table. You can also stay seated with your parents or sit in the library room back there to hear the service. We also have a nursery for young kiddos, 0 to 3. Elizabeth is in the nursery today. Candles of Community are here and in the back of the room. You're invited to come up during the first hymn now or anytime prior to prayer to light a candle. You are also welcome to write your joy or sorrow in the book. If you would please reach for your cell phones and silence them or put them on stun, and we'll begin our worship service together. So now is greet your neighbor time, and you're invited to greet your neighbor by introducing yourself. You can also just wave and not shake hands if that's what you'd like. I'll call you back with the chime, just a few minutes. Thank you. I didn't remember there was something in the back.
No, I used it on Friday and I forgot to bring it back.
No, I didn't remember that whole setup back there.
I just happened to walk past it.
Oh, okay. Hello, how are you? Teal, it's just the best.
Hello, good morning. My name is the Reverend Tina DeYoe. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to tell you about some of our announcements that we're highlighting today. So normally you can find announcements in our weekly emails, and you can sign up for those in the foyer. They can be found on our website, on our printed flyers that are also in the foyer, and on the back of your bulletin as well. So today we're highlighting a few announcements. This is happening next Sunday after the service, the Creative Connections Craft Group. So if you are crafty and creative, or even if you're not and would just like to be with other folks doing fun crafting things, you can stay after anytime between 12 and 3, right, Barb? And Barb, raise your hand. You're the person to talk to about connecting with that group. So that's happening next Sunday. Bring your craft projects if you have some. We have an awesome Create Craft room now that the Lifespan Spiritual Nourishment team helped get ready. So that's a cool room to do crafting in. Also next Saturday is the Life Tribute service for our longtime member, Ann Beyer. She was one of our founding members here in this congregation, and so we're going to be doing a life tribute service for her at 1 p.m., so please join in that. And then also after church next Sunday, you can join in our second Sunday forum, and Diane Smoger, the director of Self-Help Inc., is going to be here giving us an update of all of their awesome work that they've been doing this past year, and that they will continue doing. As we know, the needs might go up in our region and our community, so we will hear from her. So join that next Sunday. And then get ready for a summer movie night here on Saturday, July 19th from 6 to 8 p.m. We're going to be watching Inside Out 2 because our theme for July is empathy. So that is a good film for all ages to engage in this topic. We're going to be watching Inside Out 2 together. There's going to be popcorn. All ages are invited. And then the service on July 20th, we're going to be exploring some of the themes from that movie. So join us for a fun movie night. Also, next Sunday's service is on the theme of empathic poetry. And if you are a poet or would like to read a poem on empathy, on the theme of empathy, please see me after the service, because I would love to have more empathic poet readers in our service next week. We come together today as a community. Every Sunday we come together for an hour to pause and worship together. Worship creates connections within, among, and beyond us, calling us to live with wisdom and compassion, and calling us to be our better selves. Our worship theme for the month of July, I announced already, is empathy. Empathy is the cure to division in our world. Empathy makes us stronger. So today we will be exploring our feelings and how that can lead us to cultivating empathy for others. And now we're going to light our chalice, and Nina is going to come up and help us light our chalice, and Felicia will say our chalice lighting words for today.
These words are by Paul Spraker. We light this chalice in memory of the courage of those who have struggled for freedom, the persistence of those who have struggled for justice, and the love of those who've built beloved communities to carry on the light of hope. Thank you.
And now let us stand in body and or spirit to sing our opening hymn, number 134, Our World is One World.
Please remain standing for our affirmation. Love is the doctrine of this church. Quest for truth, sacraments, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, serve life in fellowship, to the end that all souls shall grow in harmony. Thus do we covenant with each and with all. Thank you. Please be seated.
So now it is time to invite all the young and young at heart to come up to our young worshipers space here for our Time for All Ages story. So if you'd like to come hear the story And also, this is a cool way. We have lots of feelings, right? Like every day, maybe multiple at the same time, you know? And so I know I do. I'm like, sometimes I'm sad, but I'm happy, or angry, but hopeful. But we have lots of feelings, and so these are a feelings card that you can take and you can track your feelings throughout your week. So if you would like to take one of these, you can take one and track your feelings this week. It's kind of a fun practice. Yeah. There you go. So yeah, I encourage you to track your feelings this week and have fun doing so. Thank you all for coming up and listening to this story about feelings.
We'll turn to the offering. Our offering for July is taken up on behalf of Tomorrow's Women. Based out of Santa Fe, their mission is to train young women from Palestine, Israel, and the United States to be strong, compassionate leaders who partner to resolve conflicts and inspire action that promotes equality, peace, and justice for all. Please feel free to use the QR code for the Givelify app on the screen. Thank you for sharing your monetary gifts this morning, and may what you give bring you joy. Thank you, Patrick. And thank you all for your generosity this morning. May your gifts help sow the seeds of peacemaking in Israel and Palestine.
So during this time, you are invited to come up to our Candles of Community area. If you haven't already, light a candle and write a joy or sorrow in the book to be read aloud. During this time, you can also remain seated and join me in singing our metta prayer. And I will speak these words first, and then I will invite y'all to sing these words with me. So let us join in this time of prayer and meditation and lighting of our joys and sorrows. May I be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May I be happy. May my body support the practice of loving kindness. May I be free from ill will, affliction, and anxiety. May I love myself as I am. May I be happy and free from suffering. May I find peace in an uncertain world. May I find ease on the middle path between attachment and apathy. Please join singing. May I be peace with loving kindness. May I be peaceful, safe, and at ease. May I awaken to my true nature. May I be free. May you be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May you be happy. May your body support the practice of loving awareness. May you be free from ill will, affliction, and anxiety. May you love yourself as you are. May you be happy and free from suffering. May you find peace in an uncertain world. May you find ease on the middle path between attachment and apathy. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be peaceful, safe, and at ease. May you awaken to your true nature. May you be free. May we be safe and protected, free from inner and outer harm. May we be happy. May everyone's body support the practice of loving awareness. May we be free from ill will, affliction, and anxiety. May everyone love themselves as they are. May we be happy and free from suffering. May we find peace in an uncertain world. May we find ease on the middle path between attachment and apathy. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be peaceful, safe, and at ease. May we awaken to our true nature. May we be free. And I didn't mention this before, but metta is a Buddhist meditation practice. And it's a concentration practice to cultivate unconditional goodwill for all. And it's practiced by reciting and contemplating a series of aspirations or prayers that we just did together that express your compassion and loving kindness toward yourself and others. And with each recitation, we expanded our scope of our loving kindness from ourself to those close to you, to those whom for you feel antipathy, and finally to all sentient beings. Prayers and candles have been lit and written, and these are some of the written ones. For Ellie Gisler, rang the bell for completing her last chemo session accompanied by her children, Fiona and Rowan, and her mother, Susan. She went for a 4-mile hike 2 days later. Yes, so joy that she has completed her chemo session. Woo! Yeah. The many musical gifts we receive here in our space, in our congregation, in our service. Joy for that. So thank you, all of our music folks, for sharing your gifts. Yay! And may Mimi Adams's case of COVID be mild, and she's in North Carolina right now and got COVID. So one of our members here, sending her our love. And for finding my brothers who left this world 5 years ago, lover, and her feeling of acceptance in our family. And for all the victims and their families of the Texas floods. And for all the first responders who have given of themselves to help. May all of these spoken and unspoken prayers that are on our hearts today be lifted up in this space together. Thank you, Patrick. So I'm going to be honest with you all. Today, my heart hurts. Today, my heart hurts for all those people who will be losing their health care. Today, my heart hurts for all of those people who will be losing their food assistance. Today, my heart hurts for persons who are undocumented in this country being ripped from their families, and for those who are documented and are still being kidnapped for speaking out against injustice. My heart hurts for my trans siblings and their rights to health care. My heart hurts for Gaza. My heart hurts for people of Iran and Israel. My heart hurts for all in this world subjected to violence and who are not able to escape. My heart hurts for the homeless who could be housed if the government and billionaires really wanted to do so. My heart hurts for those who are hungry, who could be fed if our government and billionaires wanted to do so. My heart hurts for the ideals that this country was founded upon, for the freedom, democracy, and independence and welcome for all people. These ideals that are not being upheld by this current administration. Today, my heart hurts because the beacon of hope and light that our country has been, that beacon seems to be a bit dimmer now. I feel grief. Today, my heart hurts, and maybe your heart hurts a little bit too. So where is hurt on this feelings wheel? Right here. Connecting to anger. So yes, I'm feeling a bit angry today. And I also feel sad today. Right here. If I look at a word that describes my sadness on this feelings wheel, I find powerless. So I am feeling a bit hurt and powerless, a bit angry and sad. So let's name some of the feelings you are bringing with you here today. And it might not be angry and sadness, but it might be some other feelings. So if you'd like, you can call out those feelings that you're feeling today. Anxious, yeah. Despondent, yeah. There might be lots of other feelings that we're feeling today, and it's perfectly valid to not say those out loud right now. So as humans, we can be holding all of these feelings at the same time. I feel grief, and I also feel hope. I have optimism. I feel sadness, and I feel joy. I feel anger, and I feel energized fighting for justice in community with others. On July 4th, I used my feelings of anger and sadness and attended a protest in Taos. It was good to be with people who were also protesting and standing up against the abuses of power, the use of violence, and the sick greed that are all running our country right now. I stood up for my UU values of love and justice for all. I also caught the drone show in town because it was fun to see the creativity of this show. Creativity is another way we can cope with all that we are feeling. So yeah, join that creativity group next Sunday. So what do we do with these feelings of anger and sadness, powerless and hurt, grief and hope? Why am I talking about my feelings today anyway? Well, by voicing my feelings to you all, I become more aware of what I am feeling. And this awareness is a first step as we work towards cultivating empathy for ourselves and for others. Awareness of our own feelings and empathy for others are intertwined. I'll say that again. Awareness of our feelings and empathy for others are indeed intertwined. If you work on one of these, you work on the other. It's a twofer. So today, we are going to start by working on the awareness of our feelings and moving into empathy for others. I also think it is possible to start cultivating empathy with the work of empathy by caring for others in numerous ways. But for today, we're going to start with the awareness of feelings, which can then lead us to cultivating empathy. But again, they're intertwined, so it can work both ways. So, how do we do the work of becoming more aware of our feelings? One simple way that I pointed out with our kiddos in the Time for All Ages is this diary card of our feelings. So you can use a diary card like this, or I have an example in the foyer on the table of an adult diary card, and kids can use it too. After I got divorced and went through that process, I was in a dialectical behavioral therapy group here in town. And Elizabeth's done it, some other folks here maybe have done it. And we used diary cards to track our feelings and then our behaviors and our coping skills. So again, I have diary cards out there for folks, and I'm going to put these ones there too, because sometimes this is simpler for people. And I have feeling wheels out there as well for y'all to take. So this tracking of feelings, behaviors, and coping skills was helpful for me in becoming more aware of the emotions and feelings I was experiencing in my daily life. I could also track how I was dealing with these feelings. So the diary card is just one way to practice becoming more aware of your feelings. Another practice that was used to catch our judgmental feelings was the practice of non-judgmentalness. To practice non-judgmentalness, we were to observe our feelings and thoughts without assigning positive and negative to these feelings and thoughts. We were simply supposed to observe and describe. These could be feelings and thoughts about ourselves, other people, or a situation. We were to keep track of how many judgments we made throughout our day. That was interesting. Then we picked one judgment to observe, describe, and explore on a deeper level. We also use this same process for our assumptions. And I have also some printed resources for a non-judgmentalness practice on the table out there as well. So practicing both of these skills and recognizing my feelings of judgmentalness and assumptions has helped me not to jump to conclusions about people, situations, and even myself. Practicing both of these skills has helped me to be able to stay in the present moment, and my anxiety has gone down. Practicing these skills helps me respond from a less judgmental and assuming place, which allows me to begin with curiosity. And this helps me cultivate my empathy since I am asking questions toward understanding. I'm trying to see things from another perspective. Becoming aware of my own feelings ultimately has led me to a place where I can be more empathic. I still am practicing this skill and am definitely not perfect at it, but I keep trying. And as long as we keep trying in our awareness practices, we are headed on the path to help ourselves and others cultivate empathy. So awareness of my own feelings leads me to being more aware of others. Again, my thesis for today is awareness of our own feelings and empathy for others are intertwined. I always have loved the empathy scenarios that we do with our kids and youth in our classes here by having them practice wearing the shoes of another person. So one of these scenarios might be the arrival of a new kid from a different country into a school classroom. This new kid speaks with an accent and is coming into their classroom for the first time. When the teacher reads their name, some of the kids in the class laugh because the name sounds funny. In these role-playing scenarios, we literally have the kids stand in the shoes, or the paper shoes that we put on the ground, of the new kid in class, and have the kids describe the feelings they might be feeling if they were that new kid, which would probably include nervous, sad, excluded. Then we have the kids analyze why some of the kids in the class might have made fun of this new kid by laughing. Maybe these kids have never met a kid from a different country before and are nervous. Or maybe they joined in laughing because of peer pressure. These scenarios help kids explore the feelings of others. So our awareness of our feelings and having empathy for others, again, are intertwined. So we're going to engage in an empathy scenario together today. Scenario. Clara is coming to the UU church for the first time. She just lost her wife to cancer and has one kiddo. She does not have family in town and is hoping to find community for her and her kiddo. She did not grow up in a religion, but has heard good things about the UU church being an inclusive and welcoming place. So none of these details are known about Clara's life are known to the people greeting her at church. How would you want Clara to feel walking into this church? How would you greet her? How would you help make her feel included? There are so many reasons why people might be coming here on a Sunday morning. We might not know all the reasons, but we can greet people with sincerity and welcome, hopefully making them feel included, cared for, and safe. Hopefully helping them find community that they might be searching for. So another way that helped me cultivate empathy for others as a kid growing up, and even today as an adult, is doing service work. I remember traveling with my church group when I was living in Minnesota to the big city of Minneapolis to another church that had a food kitchen for the homeless. I was probably in second grade and remember serving and sharing a meal with the homeless population of the city. I remember having conversations with these people. This service work is one of the ways we can cultivate empathy for others, not from a savior complex, but from a place of solidarity and walking with each other by sharing food and conversation. As I engage in this work of the awareness of others and cultivating empathy today, I think about some of the work I am engaged in with our county's inclusivity task force that I serve on, as well as Cuck Young McNaughton from our church. I'm working with the Economic Equity Working Group, and I am very invested in solving the affordable housing issue here in our county. There are people in this town that make less than $50,000 who are unable to afford a rent of $1,500 or $2,000 a month because this cost takes almost half of their paycheck. So when I served as your director of lifespan religious education, my salary did not pay enough for me to live up here on the hill. Luckily, I found a casita on the back of my friend's property, and they did not raise the rent on me, which enabled me to live on the hill. So this issue is something I am passionate about. And in our economic equity working group, we talked about the low-hanging fruit we could help solve now. Maybe we can get rid of housing application fees for people, since people who want to rent have to pay these fees every time they apply for housing with a different company. One of our group members then brought up the fact that maybe we should have conversations with the different landlords in town to ask them why they charge the application fees that they do. I really was just thinking about the people applying to rent and thinking that these fees are ridiculous and need to be done away with. However, the group member that brought up having the conversation with the landlords was also bringing in the perspective of the landlords. Yes, we do indeed need to know the reasons behind why they are charging these fees, and then maybe come up with a better process that is streamlined between the different rental companies. Maybe the fees are for background checks. Could the background checks be only done once for all the different rental companies, making it less of a cost burden on everyone? We were thinking in the perspective of the renter and the rental company people. This is sometimes hard for me to do because I am prejudging rental companies and landlords. There we go. So I prejudge these rental companies and the landlords as not looking out for the working class folks. And that's a judgment that I have, right? So it goes back to that practice of non-judgmentalness. The only way to find out is to have conversations with these people and ask curious questions. So like I started this sermon time, my heart hurts today because we are being force-fed division. Empathy is what ultimately will heal our divisions. And empathy is one of our strengths as human beings. Empathy is what helped humans evolve. From early on, we humans cared for one another and gathered in community to do so. Empathy has indeed made us stronger as a species. So using the awareness of our feelings and the feelings wheel to lead us into a place where we can recognize the feelings of others is the work for all of us to do. Empathy heals divisions. We need to move through these practices of cultivating awareness for ourselves and others with mindfulness. I for sure am trying to be more cognizant of this force-fed division that we are being subjected to on a daily basis. This energy of division is negative, and I also need to be careful about how it is affecting me in my daily life. Just this week, my partner Eric and I butted heads. I also have consent from him to share this. We butted heads, and I am sure some of our argument happened because we are both grieving and are angry about what is happening in this country. Being honest and aware of our feelings is the work we can do to lead us toward empathy. We all are perfectly imperfect beings, and we all have inherent worth and dignity. We're going to make mistakes on this road of awareness and cultivating empathy, and that's okay because we are all learning all the time, all throughout our lives. Apologizing for mistakes made and committing to do better next time is also the work of awareness and empathy. And this is not easy. Believe me, when I have to apologize for mistakes I have made, it's not easy. Being honest and open about our feelings is our work. We can do this, y'all. I think we can do this. Because when we do, we are not only improving our lives, but are improving the lives of others around us and are ultimately improving the communities we are a part of, like here at our church and beyond. Empathy is the cure for us and them. Awareness of our own feelings and empathy for others are indeed intertwined. So let us go from this place today, supporting each other on the path of awareness and empathy. Amen, and may it be so. Please rise in body and/or spirit as we sing our closing hymn, number 318, We Would Be One.
Our hymn of love.
And let us go out from this place today, remembering to be aware of our feelings that will then lead us into cultivating empathy. So let us now join our hands and sing our closing song, The Way.